Hey there fellow gamers, I bet you've never heard of this game, but you should be playing it right now. Today we're diving into the mystical world of Kunitsu-Gami, Path of the Goddess. This game is not just about the thrill of the fight, but also the rhythm of battle, so let's get started. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's talk about accessibility. Kunitsu-Gami is a game that doesn't demand a high-end gaming rig. With low system requirements, it's a game that many of us can enjoy without breaking the bank. Even if you're running a system with specs like a Core i7 7700 or Ryzen 5 2600 and a GTX 1070 or Radeon RX 5700, you're good to go. And the best part, you can expect a smooth 1080p 60 FPS experience on the balanced preset. So far, a typical mission, boss fight, and base upgrade takes about 60 minutes or so. If you're really good at third-person fighting games, you can expect this time to be reduced. This game works perfectly for the busy gamer schedule, so anybody who watches the podcast, you would know I only have 1 hour to play every day, and this game fits perfectly into that schedule. On the graphics side, yeah, it runs fine. I run it at 4K with my RX 7800 XT, something along that line. No problems at all. I haven't seen any frame drops. It does not look as pretty as I would like, but again, this is a game that's optimized toward, I would imagine, to run on the PS4, the PS5, the Xbox previous generation, the Xbox current generation. I would imagine there's probably going to be a Switch port at some point, if not a Switch 2 port. So let's talk about controller compatibility, because I was super excited about this game and I'm like, oh my god, I get to use my controller, and here I have it right here in front of me. The bad thing is that I tested this controller on Steam before I started playing this game. I'm like, okay, let's load up Mark of the Ninja, which is the game that's in my Steam backlog. Let's give it a try. And I tried it and it didn't work. And for some reason I couldn't figure it, because Steam picks this up as a Nintendo Switch Pro controller. And like I said, I did try it with another game, worked no problem. And I went into the game and I'm like, okay, controller. It did not let me use a controller at all. So I had to play this with keyboard. But despite that, as a middle-aged gamer, right, as someone born in the 80s, I'm no stranger to mouse and keyboard, and I'm a big fan of the mouse and keyboard, right? So I remember when a controller was a luxury, so it was fine, and it's still fun, it's still awesome. It still requires a bit of memory to remember what the keys are, remember the combinations of sword strokes and that sort of stuff, but it's still fun. All right, let's talk about gameplay and mechanics. So the keyboard and mouse perform pretty decent, as I just mentioned, but there are some hiccups. For instance, the heal key, which is supposed to be T on my keyboard, right? And according to the key bindings, doesn't work. I played about 2 hours of this game so far, and I still cannot heal. I couldn't figure out how to heal. I died on the second level boss because I'm like, okay, I need to heal, and slash dead, right? So I haven't figured that out. There was another point of the game, right, where I had to depurify, or purify a gate, I should say. And the problem was, I'm like, okay, it says F to purify, and in this game, right, it's like a 2.5D or like 3D kind of game. It's like a 3D game. So there's like different planes. You can be forward and backwards, right? So I'm like forward, I'm pressing F, and it's not working. Then I realized, oh no, I have to go back, hold F in order to get this to work. The other side is, there's a mechanic to heal the quote-unquote goddess in the game, and you have to sort of keep this ball in the center of this gate, and it's a little difficult on a keyboard. I imagine with a sort of like a controller stick like right here, this would be much easier. So please keep that in mind. Like most games, Kunitsu-Gami has its share of mysteries. After finishing the first level, I found myself at a rest area where I could upgrade my base and delve into some lore and art. I thought I could fast forward time to upgrade the base, right? Because what happens when you upgrade the base is you say, hey, soldiers that I just rescued from demons, please do this thing to fix up the base. And they're doing it, and it shows progress in the game. And I'm like, okay, cool, I have the ability to fast forward time. So I'm fast forwarding time, and nope, the guys are not finishing. And then only later I realized, okay, in order to progress upgrades to your base, you actually need to go to the next level and finish the mission in order to do that, which is something to be aware of. You'll see in the video right here. I'm just wasting my time waving my sword with my little thing on the end, and it is not working at all. These base upgrades are really important because they allow you to upgrade your soldiers, and your soldiers are a key component of the game. Alright, let's talk about the experience. I've talked about a lot of negative stuff, right? But actually this game is really fun, and it's not complicated, it's not overly difficult. I did die in the second level, as I mentioned, but that's also because I'm just being very silly and not like really thinking about what I'm doing. The sword fighting is fluid and fun, and it has this amazing Japanese taiko drum music in the background, which adds this very like rhythm element. And you know, the closest thing it sort of reminds me of is just like the 90s Battlestar Galactica show with the drums in the background as the vipers are fighting. It's really intense, right? And at the same time, right, you can pause whenever you want. This is a single player game, there is no multiplayer. So if you do need to, you know, answer the phone or go to the door or something, it works, right? And this doesn't look like a long game as well. It's probably about 12 stages and 12 bosses. So you're doing one stage and one boss per day, roughly in about an hour. So that's about 12 to 15 hours. And there's like replayability because there's things you can do for each level. So there's that, but you know, with most older gamers, we don't have time to replay our game. So my ending thoughts, right, is I'm pretty impressed with Kunitsu-Gami, Path of the Goddess. It's a game that won me over with just like engaging gameplay and a beautiful world. I'm looking forward to completing the game and sharing my thoughts with you, maybe a little bit of tips for those of you who want to pick it up later. I paid about $50 for a game. It is 100% worth it. Check it out. Let me know what you think about today's video. So that's it for today. If you played Kunitsu-Gami, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you haven't, I hope this video piques your interest. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more gaming content. Until next time, keep